Hey guys, Azralynn here celebrating my 2,000 subscriber milestone with a special Q&A video and a special giveaway of Astroneer. In order to enter the giveaway for Astroneer, you just need to be subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, and post a comment down below. And I'm just going to jump right into the Q&A. My only question is, what does Azralynn mean, or where does it come from, or what's the story? I first started using the name Azralynn back in my World of Warcraft vanilla days. I used to use the name Azrael, but it was always taken, so when my account got compromised, I needed to make a new name to level up another character while my other level 60s were getting all their stuff restored. So I wanted to stick with Az, but I needed to combine it with something different, so I hit the random button a whole bunch of times until I got Lynn, and then I just put Azra and Lynn together and poof, here I am. What piqued your interest in games for it to become a hobby for you? Is there any one game you remember fondly that sparked the whole thing? Well, the first time I've ever played a video game was back in the NES on console, and that was the Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt combo. And so I just kind of played very casually consoles way back then. And it wasn't until I was in high school that I really got into PC gaming. So the game that really jump-started everything, I would say, would be this old school MUD called Medivia. And actually the game is still around because I just checked their website. I used to play it from the time that I got home until the time that I went to bed. And ever since then, I was hooked on computer games. Do you have a favorite retro console? I was very casual back when I played on console, so I don't really have a favorite, but I guess for nostalgia, I'd have to say the NES, because that was the first console that I ever had, and that's what kind of started my interest into it a little bit. What triggered your decision to create a YouTube channel? Part of the inspiration behind me starting the YouTube channel was people like Total Biscuit and Boogie2988. Just people that I look up to, and I always loved what Total Biscuit did, but I don't have the patience to watch all of his videos the whole way through a lot of times. So I wanted to make videos for people like me who want to get some information but don't want to spend 40 minutes watching a video. What's your favorite movies of all time? Oh, that's a really tough one. I wouldn't really say that I have any favorite movies, but there are some movies that anytime they're on, I'll always watch them, and one of those movies is The Fifth Element. Every time it's on, I will sit and watch the whole thing. If you had to choose a game to play the rest of your life, what would it be? I don't want to play just one game for the rest of my life. I guess if I had to pick, probably Skyrim, just because there's so many mods and there's so much to do in it. What would you say is your favorite genre of games, and when you started playing games? Well, like I mentioned, the first game I ever played was back on the NES, so I was probably about 6 when I first started playing games. And as far as my favorite genre goes, I don't really have a favorite. Anything with some good story or good action or good puzzles, it really depends on my mood, to be honest. You mentioned you're a big fan of puzzle games in the corn section. What's your favorite game in the genre? Portal 2 is probably my favorite because it built on all the stuff I loved about the first one, and then it just had so much more character, and I loved Wheatley. I enjoy good puzzles, especially when there's a good story behind it. Have you played Abduction? If so, what are your thoughts on it? I haven't actually played Abduction yet. It happened to release on the same day as something else that I was already doing a review on. So it is on my wish list, it is something that I do want to play, I just haven't got to it yet. I would like to know if you remember your first computer game ever. The first computer game that I ever played, I don't even know what the name of it was. It was something that they had in the computer labs at school, and I really don't know what it was called. Do you like hidden object games, and if you do, which one is your favorite? I don't mind hidden object games. It's not a genre that I feel the urge to go out and play, but if there is one that looks good and something that I want to play, I'll go ahead and play it. So I don't really have a favorite since I haven't really played that many hidden object games. What is or what are your all-time favorite games? When I think about it, the games that stood out to me the most are the games that either had a lot of fantastic action or just an incredible story that had me emotionally invested. I love the Arkham series, probably Arkham Asylum being my favorite of them, and I really enjoyed The Darkness too. It had a really great story and really fun combat. To the Moon and Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, those games had me crying harder than any other games I've ever played. What is the best game you haven't finished and left, and why? I'm ashamed to say that I haven't finished Skyrim. I got so distracted by leveling my professions to max and doing all the side quests that I totally forgot what the main story was, and then when I upgraded my computer, I lost all my saves and just never went back. How many games did you finish this year? I have no idea. Most of the games that I finished, I did do a review on, but there were some that I didn't do a review on, and then there were some that I reviewed that I didn't quite finish because I couldn't. So I have no idea. How many hours or days per month do you play on average? And do you finish most of the games you play? Or you get the gist of it, or until you're bored and move on to the next? I probably play about 15 to 50 hours per week, depending on my schedule and what other stuff I have to do. It's a personal goal of mine to finish every game that I play, but it's not always feasible, so there are some games that I haven't finished, but the vast majority of the games that I have played, I have completed fully. Not necessarily for the achievements, but at least the main story. Do you watch your old/early videos? If yes, what do you think or feel about how far you've come in terms of confidence and quality in content creation? I try not to watch my old stuff because I cringe really hard when I do. I was so nervous and my voice was shaking and I just don't like listening to it, so I try not to watch it. But when I have listened to it, I think that I've come a long way since then. But I still have a long way to go before I'm, fully there to where I want to be. How do you feel about Overwatch's microtransactions? I am totally fine with microtransactions as long as they are purely cosmetic and that they don't affect the gameplay in any way. So I'm totally fine with Overwatch's microtransactions. Do you happen to play Overwatch with your subscribers? If it's competitive, I probably won't play with anyone in a group, but if it's something like arcade or quick play, I've got no problem playing with anyone. You seem to have enjoyed Overwatch. Are you a fan of multiplayer in general? I have no problem with multiplayer games. There's a lot of them that I like, and a lot of them that I don't like, and I find that a lot of times it's the community that ruins the games. So, if the community's toxic, I probably will stay away from it. If there's a lot of cheaters, hackers, don't want anything to do with it. So as long as I'm having fun, I've got no problem playing multiplayer. The only bad thing is that I can't pause those games, so I find it harder to make time for them. Do you play free-to-play games? Yeah, I play Hearthstone just about every day to do my daily quest, and I play Clash Royale on the iOS. I've got nothing against free-to-play games, it's just I probably won't ever do a review on one because you can just try it yourself. What is the stupidest game you've ever played? I try not to play stupid games, so I don't really have one that wins the list for the stupidest game. What were your least favorite games of the year? My least favorite games are probably the games that piss me off the most, so Syndrome would be definitely one of them, and Dinocide made me rage as well, so much that I didn't even want to do a review on it. Are there any plans for the most disappointing or worst games of the year? No, I'm not going to do a video on the most disappointing or the ones I hated the most. I prefer to focus on the positive games and ignore and leave all those bad games in the past. What are the plans for your YouTube or Twitch channel in 2017? Do you have any plans for some sort of video release schedule on YouTube and a schedule of when you will stream on Twitch? My plans for YouTube are to continue doing reviews and providing no commentary gameplay for the games when I can. As far as sticking to a video release schedule or streaming schedule, I have a really hard time with that because I do work full time and I kind of just fit everything in when I can. I prefer to stream on YouTube as opposed to Twitch because that way it directs traffic to my channel, which is my main focus, and it also allows people to change the quality settings so that they don't have buffering while watching my streams. Are you going to do live streams? I live stream when I can, and when it's a game that I feel that you guys would want to see. I play a lot of single player games, and I don't know if those are games that you guys would want to see me play, or if it's just multiplayer, so I don't know. Let me know in the comments what games you guys would like to see, whether it's multiplayer, single player, or if you want to mention any games specifically that you'd like to see me stream. That would be really helpful. What do you do as a day job? How do you find time to play and write reviews? Because I work mostly from home and a lot of my job involves answering the phones and dealing with customers, it gives me time to play the game in between phone calls and write reviews in between the phone calls, so I'm just really lucky to have a job that allows me to do that. So that concludes my Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was my first time ever doing something like this, so I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you want to see more Q&A from me? Or is there some other content that you'd like to see me make? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Good luck to all those who enter the Astroneer giveaway. And a big thanks to all of you subscribers. Have a wonderful day.